Because Mexico and the United States have a massive amount of importation and exportation between each other. Both countries have a massive and connected economy. They share a border and have a great percentage of migration between both. An action from either countries affects the other one. 13.7% of USA's total imports are from Mexico, and 15.94% of USA's exportations is to Mexico. The benefits of investing with the USA are mostly that it has the largest market in the world. It has a very big access to capital, and the United States hosts the most developed, liquid, flexible, and efficient financial market in the world.
As US is a first world country, there could be a lot of challenges entering this country. First of all, there are a lot of barriers, including to the laws. Also, they have high taxes, and also they are very advanced in technology. In the topic of technology, that is very important to emerging countries, because if they want to invest in the US, they have to be aware of all the advances they're doing in the US so they can be successful. Something that characterizes the US market is that they are very sophisticated and they are also highly competitive. The US is a country that has more multinationals around the world, and also American companies tend to be more superior in management and marketing skills, which means a lot of the employees that are on the company, they are more aware of what is going on around that sector or industry than maybe the people that are on the emerging countries, that they don't really know what's going on that company. Another challenge to enter the US could be the cultural differences that are, for example, very different from Mexico, and also the US immigration laws.
I'm going to talk about the four examples of problems that we have had with the US before. The first one is in March 23 of 2010, the bilateral border cooperation. The US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton visits Mexico City to discuss border security and counter-narcotics efforts after the March 13 killings of 3 people connected to the US consulate in the city of Ciudad Juarez. That was a huge one because, well, we have always had trouble with counter-narcotics and, well, drugs and cartels, so it was a huge one. Other one is a very basic one. Donald Trump stalls on the promise to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. This was in January of this year. President Donald Trump remains committed to building a border wall with Mexico, but he hasn't been able to get the money to do it. The federal government is in partial shutdown because Trump says he won't sign any spending bill that doesn't include $5.7 billion to build the wall. Democrats in Congress are unwilling to vote for a bill providing that money. December of 2019, last week, President Donald Trump of the United States of America began a crisis between his government and Mexico's. This happened when he announced the increase of taxes on imports in Mexican products as a reprisal because of the insufficient progress that AMLO has shown in stopping immigrants from down south. The increase in the taxes will start in June, and they will increase 5% monthly until it gets to 25%. This will hurt our economy so bad because we export so much, and we need also some imports from the US that help us in our economy and in some products that we only imported from the US. And the last but least problem that we have had, it was the assassination of the Lebaron family in Mexico. Immediately after killing some of the members of a Mormon family that happened by members of the Mexican gang, the President Donald Trump offered to help the military in Mexico to free them of the cartel drug war that has been happening for years. The President AMLO said thanks, but no thanks, and said that it was a problem that Mexico has to deal in their own. When something like this has happened before with Peña Nieto or someone else, the cartels have increased by a huge percentage because they know the US is not going to come and help them. So they attack because the Mexican military can't contain them. So that's how it goes.
The current status of the Free Trade Agreement, that is now called the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, It updates the NAFTA with stronger protection for workers and the digital economy. It's expanded markets for American farmers and the new rules to encourage auto manufacturing in North America. This pact also includes significant change in several key areas and includes additional provisions designed to help identify and prevent labor violations, in particular in Mexico. The highlights from the new US-Mexico-Canada agreement are steering more car productions to the United States, stronger labor rules in Mexico, and ending special system of arbitration for companies. Doing a comparison of Canada, USA, and Mexico using Doing Business Index, we found out that the best option is USA, since it leads DB ranking, occupying the number 6 place and followed by Canada in the 23rd place and Mexico in the 60th. We can say that in Canada it's easier to open a business than in USA, since entrepreneurs go through less producers in the shorter time with a lower cost. Canada is one of who has the easier facility secure property rights in the less time also and cost. Also, Canada pays more taxes than USA and Mexico. But in the USA, it's easier to obtain construction permits, and it's easier to obtain licenses and permits to complete the required inspections. Regarding public services, it's easier for us to get connection to an electrical networking for a building. In the US, we can find more information available in the public register or private organizations, followed by Mexico and then Canada. The USA has been cost and producers related to the import and export of a shipment, then Canada and then Mexico. This is why the USA is the best option with the DB rank, and it's considered the best country to do business.